Good afternoon, traders. Today is May 19th, 2020, and we're going to do a trade review on two trades we entered and exited today, and one trade we've been swinging that was also from last night. These are all from our weekly action plan that we mail out every either Sunday or Monday night. And if you don't currently get it, it's free, and you can push the link below, click on the link below to subscribe and get it emailed to you every night so you can trade the same way. Okay, so the first trade we entered this morning was MasterCard. Has all the information on the action plan, the range, expected move, what we're looking for to take it long, and which options to take. So to this one, it was a break of 291 would be our first target, and we were going to take the 300 calls at $1.20, and we were looking for 294. Another trade that was on there was this butterfly. That's for more advanced traders. And then we also give a short play because we don't know how the stock's going to react. So let's look at what happened today and how we traded the stock. Let me pull up Thinkorswim. Okay. And there's a lot of reasons I put trades on the action plan. Many different indicators of why a trade will work and has a chance to make a greater than expected move. So we got into the trade right here around when it broke 291 it was basing. We entered the trade. It was a very clean trade setup. Some people got in late, a little late, and got in over here. I actually told them to wait for this candle to close above our first target, which was 293.77. And we came pretty close to 297.82, which was, 298.27, which was our next target. And as you can see, we go back to that action plan, long side, above 291, that's our first target. After that, 293.77, then 298.27. So it's all laid out for you. Tells you what option to take. You just have to follow the rules. Okay. So we took the trade here, between here and here. People got different entries. I personally got an entry. Let's take a look. I don't remember exactly. Why isn't showing up? Oh. Okay, let's lower this. Ooh. Oh, I know why, because I was on the wrong screen. I got an entry of... So my entry was $1.24. As you can see, 10 contracts, $1.24 in one of my accounts. I always like to trade in accounts similar to the size of a lot of my clients. This way I can help them manage it. So my entry was $1.24. And if we go back to the chart, okay, we held it. Still riding the 5 up, no reason to get out. Kept holding it. I think we sold right around here at 12:30. I wish it gave me times, but right when it was topping out and trying to and came down, we did sell here. I know that for a fact. We sold between 11:50 and 12:30 on these candles, and we got out at 100%. Some of it was actually more than 100%. It was 120%. And then we moved our stop loss up to 100%, meaning worst case scenario was we were up 100% on the trade. So most of us were up about an average of 15% on the trade. So that's important also with stop losses. So we enter the trade at $1.24 here. The first thing we do immediately is enter a 60-cent stop loss, okay? Which is roughly 50%. So you got to give yourself some breathing room. As the trade's working and moving up into our first zone, we keep raising the stop limit. So we limit, what that's doing is limiting the amount of risk. We want to keep taking risk off the table. Then once we hit the 100%, we sell half. After that, and I think on this I got a better fill. I got like 100, like I said, I got like 120% or 30%. And then once we were there, we put it on set it and forget it. We set our stop loss at 100%, which was the $2.50, maybe 2 cents more than that. And once you're out, you're out. There was no real reason to re-enter this trade after that. Actually, you could have taken it short, but we were on some other trades after that. So that was our MasterCard trade. And also, it was laid out All here right through Twitter. Okay, all clearly laid out. MasterCard. Everyone that gets the action plan email, I bought the call listed half side will add more above 291. So once it got above with basing. Okay, and then I also put the link in case people want to sign up. So everyone knew what to add. They knew what it meant because they get the email. So they knew they were buying the 300 calls. We were below 291 at the point of the purchase. So once it got above, we went to full size. That's probably why I had a weird 124 cost. Okay. She's about to go. Okay, what did I see? This is why I guide you. I see momentum building. Now it's hard to show you now, but we had the 60 and 30 minute fire long. So these were in squeezes and then they fired long, which was what you saw here. That's what really pushed this. This trade was off of the 15-minute chart, so I was watching the 15-minute chart the whole time. That's the way I work this trade. The reason I have the 5-minute up is because without the 5-minute, you can't see all these stats. And of course, these are current stats, not when we traded it. I should have taken a snapshot, which I'll do from now on. So that's how we made that trade. Got to our marker, called out, sell one half size at 100%. Kept giving levels. She's about to go. 293.77's level we need to break. All right. Who read the action plan? What do we have room to now? Some people wrote the answer. And then I don't know why it doesn't show. How does it show more? Well, we sold. There's another tweet if you follow the link. There were 2 links for this that says sell one half at 100% and then put your stop loss. Let's find it for you just so you could see. Put your stop loss at, because I want to show you how we guide the trades. Sorry about this, guys. Here we go. Okay. Make sure you keep raising your stop loss. My stops are at 250, guaranteeing 100% on the full size because we've already sold 100%. Remember, worst case scenario, you get stopped out, you make 100% and can always get back in. Then I noted everybody stopped out at 100% on the full size. We'll look to enter again if the setup is there, which it wasn't for that trade. So that was our MasterCard trade, and it worked out beautifully. Second trade was Caterpillar, which worked out beautifully for most of the traders, but I actually got stopped out. Oh, I actually cut it short because I saw a reversal. But then that news came out on Moderna that pulled it and yanked it. So what we did here from our action plan, and let me get to it. Caterpillar, again, laid out. So we were done with, and we don't go into too many trades at once, usually 1 or 2 trades at a time. So we were out, we had no trades on, got into Caterpillar. Read the upside notes, we were looking for basing at 116.96. It never got there, and let's see what happened. So when it doesn't get there, that becomes resistance, and then we look at our downside. So we go here to Caterpillar. It kind of based out and stalled at the 115.66 level. Well, that's yesterday, sorry. Let's do this the proper way. Well, let's go full screen. Let's zoom out. Okay, so we got in right over here. I'm sorry, about 1220. We got in over here. It stalled out, it got rejected here, and it was rejecting this trend line. So I had a sell signal here. So we got in here, we bought the 110s. They cost us, I think, well, I'll tell you exactly what they cost us. Let's look at Caterpillar. Let's go back to my feed. Too much stuff on here. Here we go, show this thread. Okay, bought Caterpillar, puts listed on the plan. Add on a break of the 50 MA, stops at 50%. And same thing if you don't get the action plan. I was looking for a break of 112.95, then 112.14. And then I killed it at 20% loss because the setup was reversing. And then we got that news. So let's show you how that played out. So we got in over here, or here, held the trade. It was showing dying momentum. And I wasn't looking at this chart. I was looking at a 30 and a 15. So kind of, let's go to the 15 because that'll be show what I was looking at. There we go. That's better. Okay. So we had this trend line we kept projecting off of. Entered here. Okay, we were looking. Kept testing the 50 EMA, which was the point we were looking for, 1393. Just like stated in the notes. Okay. In the trade, in the trade, in the trade. Then right here, of course, right there when it was breaking through that, it actually, if you look at a 5-minute chart, it was over that line. I don't know why it doesn't show on a 15. I cut it off at a 20% loss because I just figured the market was looking good. Look at this. You had a trend reversal, so momentum was getting stronger, meaning it was going to pop. Then that Moderna news came out, and boom. Broke through the 50, broke through first target, and basically stopped on my second target. So many traders made 80%. I lost 20% on that one because I used some of the discipline I use, and when the setup reverses on you, which that's what it was doing, plus momentum was telling me it's reversing, I got out. Good thing about Twitter for the traders is there's a little delay in Twitter as fast as I could type it. So they were still in it, and there was no point for them to get out because this candle was a nasty pull. That was the Moderna news. So it was back in play. So that's clearly written out. And as you can see, to the downside, 113, which was the 50. I showed you that. We broke that. From there, 112.14 was the next level. That's basically where we closed. And some of them held some of it overnight. And what they'll be looking for 110.77, which would be reversion to the mean, which means the 21 EMA. So see that? Totally mapped out. Very clear from the action plan what to do. No guessing. Closed on some decent volume. So anyone that held it does have a chance at this 1077. And that is Caterpillar. Now let's go over the trade from yesterday that we put on, which was Marriott, and tell you how we made an adjustment on that trade. Okay, so Marriott. We bought it yesterday. We bought the 85 puts for next week. Okay, for next week. Was working, then it started bouncing. So what we did here, when it started bouncing, we turned it into what's called a calendar spread. Some people just held the puts, which is perfectly fine. You know, the next week's puts, we knew it would take a few days for it to work out. That was planned ahead of time. Everything on the squeeze was still setting up. We got a squeeze that hasn't fired short yet on the 15. 30 is reversing back to short. 60 reversing back to short. And the 60 will turn into the hourly and the 2-hour moving short. So that's, well, the 60 is the hourly. We'll move to the 2-hour and 4 hours. So see how it trickles down? So this fires, makes it go short. And the 30 will fire short. And if I bring up a 5-minute chart, you can see even better. There you go. It's a little clearer. See? So 5-minute fired short. So tomorrow, first thing we look for is the 15-minute to fire short. What that means is an extra explosive move. So on a 15-minute table, we'd look for it to go farther. So what I did here, and the more advanced traders, when we started grinding back upwards, is we turned it into a calendar spread. So what we effectively did is we have the 85 puts for next week we own. We sold this week's 85 puts against them, forming a calendar spread. So what that does is we take in premium. It makes us limit our risk exposure, which is always a good thing. So the cost of the trade went from $1.50 now down to 60 cents. Now down to 90 cents because we sold it for 60 cents. So our net cost is now 90 cents. And worst case scenario is it's below 85. It goes below 85 this week, and we'll make decent money on the ones from next week. Plus we keep that 60-cent premium. If it's above there, we keep the premium, and our options will be up totally. So you'll keep the full premium plus our 85 puts for next week will be up, and we can make adjustments then. And if it just doesn't do anything, we can keep the premium, and it should outweigh the decay of what next week's will do, and we could just take the trade off at probably even, or maybe even a little profit. So that's where we are on Marriott. And those are our 3 trades for today. And what we did, we also did a McDonald's scalp at the end of the day, which we just cut short. We got stopped out on. But other than that, it was a very good day. Like I said, everything is highlighted. You can see it all on Twitter. And we are doing, just so you all see, if you don't follow me on Twitter, it's at Breaking Options. We'll be doing a live Zoom class tomorrow. You can click this link to get into it. It'll be tomorrow after the close. It's how we trade the action plan. It's totally free. Okay, you just click that. You got to join the emailing list, which is just your name, just your email address. You don't even need your name. Okay, and then an email will be sent out to you. It'll be this email that actually gets sent to you. Would you be available for a live Zoom after close tomorrow? Select yes. That'll put you on the list, and you'll get a link to the Zoom. So, hope everyone had a good day. Hope this helped out. And if there's ever any questions or topics you'd like me to go over, just put them in the comments or email me directly at tepdon@breakingoptions.com. Thank you, and have a good night.